Hello and welcome back to my channel, and in this new series I will be playing the Dwarves of Ered Luin, or maybe we should call them the Chaos Dwarves of Ered Luin, because we are going to be taking the ring. Now I am going to just scroll through this text for you all quickly, just so that you can have a little read through it if you want to. And then of course it ends on the fact that there's a special feature of the Dwarven Ring's choice. So my plan for the campaign is to take some of the northern lands. So I have played version 3 Ered Luin. Now it's not a campaign I recommend you watch because it wasn't very interesting. But the aim of this campaign is I'm going to try and avoid war with Angmar slash the with the remnant of Angmar here, because I'm going to try and create a little northern alliance. So I'm going to have a look at the diplomacy screen at the start of the game and just see what I can maybe do there. I reckon we start at war with them, but if we don't, I'm going to see if I can wrangle an alliance. So here's a bit about the faction. It's infantry focused. We've got excellent pikemen and crossbowmen. We have a safe starting location, but things will change once we get that beautiful ring. We have no dedicated cavalry, and then we have broadbeam marksmen, longbeard phalanx. Now, as I'm just going to call them the guard because I struggle to say Gabil Gafol. There we go, I actually did that alright. And Dwarven Catapults, which is a really cool catapult unit with a lot of different options. So that's awesome. Hold 30 regions including Ered Luin proper, Old Witch Realm, Western Peaks, Mountains, Old Witch Realm. Let's see, they want us to eliminate the Goblins of Moria. Maybe because there's now the ring script in the game, maybe a good thing to change would have been the victory conditions, so that you don't have to defeat the goblins or the orcs of Gundabad or the remnants of Angmar. I'm not sure if that's something that could be looked at, maybe, because with the orcs of the Misty Mountains, the goblins of Moria, they don't have any conditions. Maybe Ered Luin should follow that and not have any conditions, but that's just my opinion. So yes, we will be playing on very hard, very hard. Let's jump on in. It's an image of course, the ride of the Rohirrim to Gondor's aid. The only thing I would say about this image is she looks very feminine. They would notice that that was a not a... Well, then again, it is sort of implied, isn't it, that they do have shield maidens. So maybe they would just think that she was a shield maiden because the context. Okay, and welcome to Divide and Conquer. I am going to just sort of let this scroll through, so that you can all have a little read of this. As anyone that knows me or knows my channel, you will know that I have read through that many times. So, Ered Luin. But the lights shall glisten in the halls of Ered Luin. A reminder to all of the once proud history of our fathers. Alas, our fortunes wane. Yet we still harbour the greatest array of dwarven bloodlines, a shrinking yet powerful progeny of 7 fathers. Of the 7, ours were the greatest, and our ancestors were fell in battle. Their dirges sung and sharpened axes cutting, fearful and savage to our foes of old. But we're going to have new foes in this series, that's for sure. I'm just going to scroll through this. And so I will just quickly read this final one here. So here, deep within the Blue Mountains have been left only a few of us, never to forget but slowly to be forgotten in these grievous ages of our decline. Of our waning, not waxing. Of our waning and our furious vengeance, much will be told in the ages to come, and ancestors of Belagost and Novgorod will not simply die like whispers among embers. And Grimborn. So I think this is a bit about maybe the ring script here. So, since the awakening of the dwarves in the First Age, 2 clans have called the Blue Mountains home, the Firebeards and the Broadbeams. For many years, peace, harmony and prosperity reigned in the mansions of the dwarves, and the Blue Mountains became a bulwark against the growing shadow of Morgoth. Then the fates of the dwarves changed when Fëanor and his exiles landed on the western shores of Bereland. The Noldor favoured crafting, smithing and good solid rock to shape. They were masons, weaponsmiths, carpenters and jewellers, and they were taught by Ule. Aulwe? No, I'm not good with my pronunciations, but I think I got that one all right himself. For some dwarves, the Noldor were an affront to their very existence. After all, were the dwarves not the children of Ule? Children of the smith and hammer? Were they not blessed as the greatest craftsmen? This rumbling of discontent spread amongst the dwarves, and like-minded groups began to gather in the shadows, whispering against their elf-loving lords and kings. In time, they came together and unified as a secretive movement, the Grimborn. God, this goes, doesn't it, for a while. I didn't realise this was all here. I'm just going to scroll through this, guys. Feel free to pause it, and in fact, I'll probably come back to the video and just read through this on my own time. It's a bit about the Silmarils, isn't it? Right, so I'll just read this end bit here because this is probably the most relevant point. Now, in the waning years of the Third Age, the Grimborn have managed to endure and claw back some small amount of power in the Blue Mountain society. For most part, they are shunned, looked down on by their fellow dwarves, who have not forgotten the hurt caused by Grimborn in the First Age. However, apathy breeds ignorance, and the Grimborn are poised to return to power. The actions of Clan Lord Gore will now define a new era for the dwarves of Ered Luin. Will they rise as champions of Eriador, or fall back into the dark pages of history once again, tarnished forever by one name, Grimborn? And then we've got our recruitment report here. And then our diplomatic information. So let's just have a look at our diplomacy. So we are at war with the remnants of Angmar and Orcs of Gundabad, unfortunately. We'll see if we can get peace with them when the time comes. But in the meantime, we shall expand our fledgling empire. So we have a diplomat here. Let's go be friendly with the elves at this stage. Let's try and be besties. And then we have Clan Lord Gore himself, who is Chief of the Blue Mountains. He's looking pretty good there with at least the money that's coming in. Something that I wanted to get out of the way before I did anything, really, was a big thank you to everyone that's commented on the faction vote. I think it's the most engagement I've ever had on a single video, which is really amazing. So thank you to everyone. I'm really re-energized to get into this campaign. If you can't tell already, I'm excited to play this one. And a bit about sort of the process for this. I'm going to be playing this campaign, but also I am going to play the clans. I'm going to do both campaigns, do 3 episodes I think of each, and then I'll decide which one to carry on at this stage. I think that's a fair way of doing it, and then we can decide sort of how we want to go. I think Ered Luin was a good starting point though, because of the fact that so many people voted for it. It definitely won the vote. But I'm interested in playing the clans, so I just want to see what they play like, and then determine what would be best. But yeah, once again, thank you to everyone that did come back to me. It's really amazing that we've had that sort of response. But anyway, let's get on with this. So we've got some Dwarven Labourers. They're not exactly a great unit. I don't know where our music's gone, but it's gone. We actually make more money with him out of there, but I'm going to put it on the growth one. And let's get some... yeah, let's get the Stoneworkers Hall, which has actually been buffed a little bit. I think before it only reduced the cost by 10% at the first tier, but now it also reduces the building time in the first tier by 20%, which is really good. That means we can get the mines out in one less turn once it's built. There's going to be a lot of economy building at this early stage. I think a stoneworker's hall here as well wouldn't go amiss. And I think the same thing in Fahangafol. And then we've got a pretty decent army here with which to strike out with. I wonder whether or not I should take Clan Lord Gore south first, but get him to meet up with some units here. Yeah, Cahuzanar doesn't like us for some strange reason. I can only assume that's down to, yeah, the presence of Elven. Can we recruit a unit? No. Can we recruit a unit at Foreign's Halls, though? We can get a spy, which is good. And then I'm just looking for a cheap unit, really. So yeah, we'll get a unit of Ered Luin militia. And I think the same thing here. We'll get another unit of militia. And maybe we don't need to take him with us. Maybe we'll just leave him here. And then we'll move our captain down south. And then, yeah, you know what? Ered Luin pikemen, let's get another unit of pikemen, because you guys can head in the direction of this town over here. Let's expand as quickly as we can. I'm still going to make a little bit of money next turn, which is good. Let's keep the economy going strong. Right, now turn one's normally when we're going to know whether or not the game's going to be running well. So it normally sticks on Dol Amroth. Timing that wasn't too bad. That was overall, like, fairly positive. And I'm going to drop a little save here. My desk is an absolute mess at the moment. I'm working from home at the moment because, of course, work is very busy with everything that's going on. And we still have a job to do. So, with the working from home, there's quite a lot going on there. I reckon this army is probably good enough to head out and take the town, as long as there's no surprises. Let's build a watchtower, and that does give us sight of Garth Helagoth. Got some decent archers there, actually, to be honest. So I'm going to build a watchtower like here. Just because I want a little bit of sight range. Let's keep the low tax rate. Right, and we've got a crappy captain here. And let's move up that unit of militia as well. It's just some privateer axemen and some bandits, not a particularly good army. So we found the town. Oh, some wargs. Decent amount of wargs, actually. Move in that direction. And try and take Perth in Luin. Yeah, I think that's all good for this turn. As I say, we're still making a little bit of money. Maybe up here, maybe we should just get a unit of Firebeard. Ah, but we can hire some mercs. Can you hire any mercs? No. I think for you, I mean 550 with a 290 upkeep is pretty good. And then I wouldn't say no to the cavalry either, to be honest. I'm debating the cavalry, because they are quite expensive and we'll start running at a loss. You know what? Let's do it. Let's take the cavalry. There's no harm in having them, and then Clan Lord Gore should be able to single-handedly handle himself pretty well against some crappy bandits and privateer units. We could just do with some extra archers that we can't recruit at the moment, so an archery building would probably be quite useful there. Right, let's end the turn again. Now, hopefully this turn ends a little bit quicker. Yeah, that was a lot quicker. That was really good. And we're losing pretty heavily on the old money now. But we have had our buildings, I think, built. Yeah, they've got a decent enough army here with which to take Garth Heligoth. And it's only 3 turns till it surrenders, so we might compel them to surrender. And then 5 and 10 isn't particularly good. 7-14 is pretty good. And the Ered Luin militia, which can form shield wall, are pretty decent. But this Gahuzahar, or sorry, what is it? The Gafilgav... See, this is why I don't say the name. Gabilgavol Guard here are pretty good. And he's got a mithril coat. Oh, 5 hit points. And he is chief of the Blue Mountains, but not a particularly great commander, to be fair. Right, I think we're going to fight this battle then. And this should recoup us a little bit of money as well. So, Captain Herion, who has some privateer axemen, who are a pretty decent unit. They're effective against armour. They got an attack of 9 and a defense of 19, or sorry, 16. So they're actually pretty good. We'll probably want to use our Firebeard against them. And then we've got 3 insta bandits that are pretty much terrible. Let's fight this battle on the battle map. The first battle of this new campaign. He's a bit ugly, isn't he? Good old Lurtz. Okay, let's start the deployment. I think what I will do is we will sort of have, I think, a flanking force. So we'll have our main line, then we'll have our flanking element, along with another flanking element. Yeah, that's pretty good. Right, what are we facing then? How have they deployed? So I think these are the privateer. Yes, they are. And then we've got 3 insta bandits, so that's perfect. This is how I wanted it to go, because I wanted us to be sort of... We're going to Zerg rush. In fact, we'll walk. We don't want to get tired out. Perfect. Like so, that's all very good, as wanted. But while we just fast forward that slightly, I finished watching Picard last night, the new Star Trek series. Now, I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan in the world. I don't know all the episode names and stuff by heart, but I have watched all of Next Gen. I've watched all of Voyager. I've watched all of the original series. So I'm a pretty you know, I've watched my fair amount of Star Trek. And I just wonder whether or not the people that wrote the Picard series have ever watched Star Trek. And I think what winds me up more than anything is the fact that, of course, Patrick Stewart is a producer of it. I don't know whether or not that was just to get an additional paycheck, but it's really a strange series to watch it. The final 2 episodes, at least, were a little bit... I was expecting big, stupid battle, and at least they didn't have a big, stupid battle. They were intelligent enough to realise that that was a stupid move. So, I'll give them that. Just, you know, purely the unexpected aspect of... I did not think that it was going to be what it was. So the fact that they sort of didn't do that was quite funny to me. Because, you know, shocking would be the term I would use to describe Star Trek Picard. It was shocking. Right, I'm going to bring you guys around. Is it Alt to... I can't remember the control, how you do it. But anyway, yeah, if we take you round the flank... you'd think the AI would charge, wouldn't you? Right, we've kept our units very fresh. We've not rushed it. We're getting a charge in here with all of these guys. Right, we're going to pull back from them. And then this is going to allow Clan Lord Gore to get around the flank. And we're going to fight them on more even terrain if we can. Right, about face, because they're going to get you. And terrain here is a little bit easier. Now you guys are 7-5-14, so you'll only have a defense of 7 and you're effective against armor, which is not great. Terrain bonus snow, shouldn't that say terrain bonus barren? Come on. Clan Lord Gore, you weren't meant to do that. Right, we flanked them. Right, hit that stubbornness of the dwarves effect. I've lost a couple of dwarves here, rather unfortunately. Sorry for the slight cut in there, I just had to quickly finish off a little bit of housekeeping stuff, so to speak. Right, come on, finish them off. Flanking with dwarves is never a good thing. Okay, so the privateer unit is running away.
They have lost half their men.
I guess they weren't winning that combat, to be fair. Okay, so they're running, which means I can tie up the flank a little bit. Right, we've crested the hill. I'm going to take these guys to do a quick charge around the side. And I'm going to use these guys as another hammer tong. There we go, that's a better charge. Well, it would have been a good... Okay, no. Right, that's their whole line breaking. They didn't get the best of charges there. But now... Oh, they're running again. The enemy isn't quite sure, I don't think, what to do here. Right. It's been pretty much as I expected this battle to go. But we did lose a little bit more of our mainline infantry than I expected. And they're coming back. We want another round. Yeah, that's it. Go, go, go. Right, and then you guys can act as the hammer, so to speak, to this anvil. Oh, they're running again. Right, let's bring this unit of militia around. And then we can flank with our sword unit, as well as this unit of Firebeards. There we go, that was a good charge. Now the general is dead, which should mean their morale will break very quickly. Perfect. They are shaken. Wavering. They're taking a lot of losses. I imagine when they dip below 50 odd men, they'll probably, yep. And then that ends the battle. So, we lost 16, but we managed to heal some, which is good. We just didn't heal any on our bodyguard, which is a bit of a shame. But 10, 19, 15 wasn't too bad considering we had quite low numbers. I mean, we did lose a fair amount. I mean, 83 labourers is not a small amount. But we'll continue. That was a relatively, as I say, easy win. But yeah, I'm just confused by Picard. I mean, I guess... You know, most people that will want to watch it have probably watched it by now. This will be coming out on Monday. But Picard turns Data off, or at least his consciousness. And, yeah, it's just strange that Picard's the one to do it. Like, when you look at the TV series, Picard wasn't Data's best friend. His best friend in this TV series was Geordi LaForge. So you'd think that if Data wanted anyone to terminate his consciousness, almost as like because he wants to feel mortal for even the briefest moment, and that's his sort of dying wish, so to speak, you'd think he'd want Geordi LaForge to do it, considering that Geordi was his best friend. I don't know, it's weird. It's strange that it was written in this way. I've got a berserk, which is good. Right, I'm just going to maintain the siege on that because, I mean, orc fighters and things we can beat, so I'm probably going to just go straight in on that battle momentarily. Clan Lord Grain is still going to do... Yeah, I mean, I might as well just take Perth and Loon immediately. That's probably the best way of doing it, to be honest. I'm going to end the episode here, though. Actually, am I? No, what we'll do is I will attack this. Let's just go straight for it, because Warg Riders, you know, on the charge they're good, but other than that, if we can just attack them and they hide in the centre, which they will do, or what they normally do is hide in the centre, then we'll just go for it. We'll box them in and we'll wreck them. So thank you very much. Let's go straight to the battle map. Hello and welcome back. I'm sorry for the slight cut in there. It's been like an hour on my end because I've been out into the wide world. I've just been down the shop, and in the shop I can only describe it's crazy. There are, like, you know, things are being you know, there's like they're enforcing that 2 meter distance thing. It's all very interesting, to be honest. But it's just a bit strange, you know. Yeah, very odd. Wasn't exactly what I was immediately expecting my shopping experience to be like, but yeah, odd. Anyway, let's go straight into this town. So Captain Geralt, who's got some orc fighters, you know, a pretty fair amount of them, but they should be no match for our superior dwarven infantry. And hopefully by turn 2 we will have expanded, which will be very good. Make a little bit more money off the back of it, and hopefully we'll be making a little less from the... Oh, I like the elven village. It's quite a cool little design. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have units going in from every flank. So how many ways into the town are there? You can't deploy outside your thingy, so there's one way there. There's one way, I guess, through here. Because we want to have at least a freeway attack. So let's have the labourers go in on this side. Oh yeah, of course, I can't deploy outside of my deployment zone. In fact, we'll go this end with the labourers. We'll take the general, I think, up through here. And we'll take the swordsman in with him. And then we'll have the Ered Luin firebeards around the side, like so. So I'm going to take you guys. Yeah. Let's take you like so. Right, they're pretty much in position. And then can you go through there? It's not very clear, is it? Let's... move up like so. I'm intrigued to see what the AI does. Are the cavalry sallying? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. Hold up. Go into guard mode. Almost looks like the cavalry's actually leaving their defensive positions. Right, don't give them a charge. If they're going to sit there and take a charge... What they are. Interesting. Unexpected. So without a charge, we should cut them down very quickly.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
And then we'll let the Firebeard warriors just flank. So there's no way to get through there, so it is going to be through this path that we need to go. Let's take the militia in. We are pushing in and taking them out. We haven't lost many at all. Stubborn dwarf ranks here, causing them some trouble. And that's, I think, another pretty solid victory here. And they didn't get a proper charge either, so hopefully we'll be able to just dismantle these units of wargs very quickly. Dwarves move very slowly. Right, let's move up the swordsman along with our general. Right, just finish off the wargs. And these labourers have just... I mean, these wargs are not suited for this. 55, how many are over here? 14, and they're shaken. Sorry, that was Gengar. He was rolling around. Right, they're retreating. That cart is blocking the way rather oddly. Go, go, go. Okay, and then you guys start making your way up this little pathway here. Oh, I do like the Misty Mountains theme. It's very good. And these labourers have fought very well against 2 units of cavalry. And then we'll move the Gefilgafol like so. Right, we killed the general, so that should affect their morale across the board. Yep, they are running. Alright, let's move the cavalry up. And then these guys have moved into position. Right, go, go, go. And now it's the best way of sort of trying to combat them to maximise the amount of kills. We're level on the amounts that have died actually, which is a bit of a shame. Can hear the sound of the wargs, and they are shaken, so hopefully that will impact their combat ability somewhat. They're fresh, everyone's still fresh, although you're a bit winded. Let's just have a look at how many kills. I mean, that's an impressive amount of dead wargs. I'm glad they targeted our weakest units, to be honest. We're going to get a little bit of a surround going. Yeah, let's just surround them on all fronts. They're being very helpful. Go, go, go. Oh, look at them run. There's nowhere to run now, you fools. Right, let's trigger the stubbornness. Go, go, go. Straight in. And now that percentage should increase rapidly. Down to 9, 7. We've got a bit of a surround going around here. We're creeping around the corners and they're already shaken. Right, finish off what's left of the wargs. Go on. Take him out. There's a couple left in the melee. And then 17 of these guys can move up. Go on, in you go. In you go. And we are taking them out pretty decisively. Right, let's put it up a few speeds. Yeah, just finish him off. Yeah, we did lose 50% of our troops, which is not good. Right, we lost 195, but we killed all of them. We did manage to heal a few units, which is good, and we only sustained 4 casualties to our bodyguards, so that's also very good. I might build that medical outpost, because the mod developer has said that if you have a medical building in the town, you leave your general in there, he'll get the ancillary that makes him get a medic, which greatly increases the amount of troops that you get back. So I think it's definitely worth getting that, at least somewhere. Right, with the taking of Perth and Luin, we have expanded our lands, and we did do an exterminate. So that means they like us a little bit more. And I think a stoneworkers hall wouldn't go amiss here. So let's have a little look at our army now. We are a little bit lacking on the old troops. If I was to leave, would they go apeshit? We can't leave this turn, so they can't go apeshit this turn. Let's end our turn now and try and get some trade rights with those filthy elves. For too long have they mocked us. Yes, and we'll get 750 for talking to them, so that's good. That's the Grey Havens. So let's get trade rights.
How could we refuse such a generous offer? That seemed fruitful. Farewell.
And we got 750 gold coins out of that, which means we will make a little bit more money next turn. Let's go in this direction and maybe go speak to the guys from Bree. Yeah, and they're happy with us because we exterminated the populace. Right, perfect. And then maybe we can get some retraining going. Yeah, how many turns until you can get another unit of militia? 10. Oh, that's a long time. You know what, we might as well go to here. It's 2 turns until hopefully they surrender. We can get another unit of cavalry here. Ooh. I would not say no to another unit of cavalry. Speaking of which, we should have, yes, our spy is ready. Let's send him in this direction. Have him start scoping out. Yes, very good. And let's end another turn, and then I'll probably call it on an episode here. And yeah, we'll take a bride. Bit of marriage celebrations. We're still losing money, unfortunately. let's just disconnect from him. So we own this region that directly is to the north of the Grey Havens. Now, we can try and move into eastern Numerador, or we can move into... So Tuatha Muli is all of this. So let's move this way and see if we can find what province is here and just shut in the elves completely. That would be very good. Okay, and it's one turn until they attack, and I think I will end the episode here. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of the evil Ered Luin campaign. We're not so evil at the moment. We will hide our hand carefully, and then we will attempt to destroy our foes. So thank you once again for watching. Bye-bye.